Major John Madden Juanito at the athletic, what do they call this? The structure, the basketball court is right off of Main Street, which is back over there. And it gets used for soccer and basketball and all kinds of community events. I just was shooting videos out on the athletic field, which is 10 years old, way out in that direction. Not much used. This is 1 year old that's used a lot, and it's very similar to covered fields like this that I've seen in many other parts of Mexico. Get used for weddings, get used for all kinds of things. And I've been telling many, many different stories about ways I've transcended my bodily limits over the course of my young life at 78. I just was telling some baseball stories. I want to tell one more baseball story, but related to Brene Brown has influenced me a lot. A central dialectic for her is between open heart, which was a no-brainer for me when I discovered it a few years ago. That's all I want is to open my heart. But the more surprising one for nice middle-class people is solid boundaries. Makes sense, because if you know how to protect your boundaries, you can open your heart even better, but it's tougher for nice people. But two early memories of how, without ever having the concept of solid boundaries, I was practicing them. I was a pretty good baseball player. When I went to university at Rochester, out east, they played a kind of baseball I had never experienced. It was like a 14-inch hard softball with a glove. In Chicago and I think St. Louis, maybe the only two places in the country where we would play with the 16-inch with no gloves. So this was a new game for me. And we put together an intramural. The clinical psych folks put together an intramural softball team, and I was the third baseman. And they called me the Iron Man at the hot corner. And that's where the hardest balls would be hit, is at third base. And I would be prowling around my section over there going, yeah, try to get it past me. Let's see. I was like an animal. I was like a cat. And it was so much fun. And there was solid boundaries. You cannot get it past me. I'm going to stop you. And that brings back a memory much later, a few years later. I was with the Halifax, Nova Scotia Shreech and Moy team, and we were all about pushing our boundaries, our limits physically. And we had an ice hockey team, being from Nova Scotia. I never had been a super skater. I had played a lot of hockey as a kid. So I played goalie because I wasn't a great skater. It was the same deal. Try to get it past me. I bet you cannot. I'm ferocious. Yeah, I may seem like a mild-mannered, nice guy, but I am a bad motherfucker in the goal. It was preparing me for my future life as a bad motherfucker. Which people who know me pretty much will agree. They have mixed feelings, mixed verdicts about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but they do say, yeah, crazy as hell and bad motherfucker. Okay, bye.